We turn our attention now to Major League Baseball, and we welcome on one of our favorite guests from Just Baseball Media, the play-by-play voice of the Triple-A affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the Indianapolis Indians. It is Jack McMullen live right here on this Wednesday on the Early Line. Jack, we appreciate the time. Thank you for being here, as always, to set the stage for the final month and a half of regular season action around the Bigs.
Why not, man? We're dialing back on baseball, right? We get ready for the postseason, and I follow college football. This is great. Why is Dan Lanning going to win a national title this year? Do you guys know?
Because Oregon is really, really, really good. Offensive line solid. Dylan Gabriel under Will Stein. The OC in Eugene expected to put up ludicrous numbers.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm ready to talk baseball.
Donnie could have known that as well. Jack, are you still calling games at Ball State? Ball State this year?
Occasionally, yeah. So I'll be there. I'll be there sporadically. Tough. Our guy Carson Steele had a really good showing for the Chiefs during preseason. You guys watch any of that? He was awesome.
Scored a touchdown. Got me to my first half over. It was huge. DRS, I know you're in it.
Yeah, but by the way, the Dan Lanning comment, I was actually going to put in there, Jack, like who does he actually coach for, just to like get the segment going. Yeah. But I figured I'd just sit back and let the pros talk about it. So there you go.
Who does he coach for? Just so we make sure you know.
Oregon.
The Oregon Ducks.
We ain't playing for clicks.
Good.
Yeah, we're not playing for clicks, man. Come on now.
That's good. Jack, an inside joke here on the Early Line. A long time ago, we played a segment of who he coached for around the NBA with the Coach of the Year favorites. Great comedy with Donnie Rightside.
Yeah.
We could probably do that with MLB managers for me, and I would have a difficult time. I'll just say that.
Do you know who Pat Murphy is?
Yeah, of course. Milwaukee Brewers might win NL Coach of the Year.
Good Manager of the Year, not Coach of the Year, Ben. We're off to a rip-roaring start.
There you go.
Very good. That was very good, Jack. By the way, Pat Murphy and his Milwaukee Brewers have lost both of their opening two games this week in their 4-game set against the LA Dodgers, managed by Dave Roberts. And what a return it has been for Mookie Betts. A home run and 3 RBIs in his first game since the middle of June on Monday. A couple of base knocks yesterday. And Shohei Ohtani stays hot at the dish. A 7-2 victory for the Dodgers, Jack. They've won 8 of their last 10. What has impressed you about LA so far in this set against the Brew Crew?
Honestly, it's their resilience and their ability to get healthy on August 12th and August 13th. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said this on the Just Baseball show earlier this week. I didn't think there was a world that I would ever feel bad for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But we hit a point where I started to feel bad for the LA Dodgers with no Mookie Betts, with no Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the guy that they just paid $325 million to this offseason. They've missed Clayton Kershaw pretty much the entirety of the year. They've missed Walker Buehler for a huge chunk of the year. Tyler Glasnow had an IL stint. I was like, what does this team need to do? Bruce Dog Gratterall, I think, threw 8 pitches this year. He came back from the injured list. He goes right back on the injured list. It has been brutal health-wise for the LA Dodgers. They're as healthy as they've been. And guess what? Buehler going today, Flaherty going tomorrow. The Dodgers are starting to look like the Dodgers that we were promised, albeit a little bit different because I did not think that Jack Flaherty would be one of the huge names for the LA Dodgers in the back half of 2024. But that's baseball, man. Things formulate like this over time. I thought last night's game was the perfect example of what the Dodgers should do to a guy like that in the Brewers rotation. And it also embodied my concerns with the Milwaukee Brewers. Like Colin Ray, I know he's been pretty solid this year, a low to mid 3s, but they teed off on him, man. And it was the final line on him was 6 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. That's what the Dodgers should be doing. And that validated my concerns on the Brewers side.
Jack, how the West was won, boy, that is going to be a story we are going to tell, because at the beginning of the season, we expected a lot of teams to try to fight and scratch and claw with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Midway through the season, looked like it was a runaway. Not so fast. That wild card race heating up because of the West. The Diamondbacks, 5 straight games they've won. 9 winners of 9 of their last 10. The Padres, winners of 9 of their last 10, won 2 games in a row. They lead the wild card, and also the Braves still in the mix there. Mets, Giants, Cardinals, and Reds. First, talk to us about that race in the NL West, keeping the Dodgers, on their P's and Q's, but also that wild card race is really tough. Are there any odd men out that you're looking for in that race, like the Reds, the Cardinals, the Giants, that you don't think might be able to cross that finish line?
Yeah, I don't see the Reds doing it now just because I kind of doubt like their offensive ability, 5 through 9. I think their front three can be formidable. Ellie De La Cruz is one of the best players in baseball. I view the Reds as one of the odd men out. I would say the Cardinals kind of fit that billing too, just because I doubt, that starting pitching over the course of the final 6-7 weeks of the regular season here. The Giants, man, I'm not counting them out just yet. Blake Snell is throwing like one of the better pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. They just got Robbie Ray back. We know who Logan Webb is. They can pitch their way into the conversation. They already have, and frankly, they can stay there by starting pitching. You know who I'm really worried about is the Atlanta Braves. This offense, when's it going to click? It's August 14th. I know that they hold on to that final wild card spot, but you go piece by piece in the Braves and the Mets lineup. It is a lot closer than it should be. And do the Braves have the edge? Maybe, I guess. Like, it helps that Marcell Ozuna is doing what he's doing, but at the end of the day, I was expecting a heck of a lot more from Matt Olson this year. I was expecting a heck of a lot more from Orlando Arcia this year. And Olson, relatively speaking, has been underperforming. Arcia has just been brutal in that 9 spot in the batting order. Like, the Braves are really starting to, I don't know, up my heart rate a little bit, up my blood pressure with them.
They have a 2-game advantage, does Atlanta, at this moment over the New York Mets. The Braves have won both of their games in San Francisco to start this week in 10 innings by a single run. The Mets have dropped 4 in a row. The opener last night against Oakland, swept over the weekend by Seattle. It is a wild card race here down the stretch of this MLB season. Jack, back to the Dodgers, but also in the race, not for a wild card spot or even a divisional title once again. The number 1 overall seed in the National League. The Dodgers have now overtaken Philadelphia because of this recent good form, and the Phils on a slide since the All-Star break. 71-49, the record for L.A. A game and a half in front of the Phils, who have lost 4 in a row and are 69-50. Philadelphia blanked yesterday at home by the Miami Marlins. Jack, when all is said and done, will it be Philly or L.A. with the top overall seed in the National League postseason?
I wish I could give you a reason as to why it's going to be one of them, but frankly, I have no idea. The Phillies have been sliding like this, and you say, oh, like, what's been the issue for the Philadelphia Phillies? I don't know. Like, this is a game played every day over 6 months. So, sometimes you're going to run into bad stretches. On paper, you look at this team, there is no hole on the Philadelphia Phillies roster, which makes me think that the Phillies will be the team that ends up with the best record in the National League. But again, you can't really understand the slide. The vibe is clearly not right with Philly right now, and that was a brutal weekend to watch in Arizona this past weekend. So I'm going to lean the Dodgers just because they have that, influx of healthy talent, of superstar talent. It's really nice to have Mookie Betts back. It's really nice to have Mookie Betts back in right field, too. I feel like as we trend right now, I think the Dodgers may end up a couple games ahead of the Phillies when the Phillies slide does eventually stop. And it might just be too little too late and they keep, leveling up at the same time. So if I were to guess, the Dodgers by a couple games, but there's no, firm reasoning for me as to why.
Checking on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now to see who is the favored team to have that number 1 overall seed in the NL. That would be the Dodgers, now moving in front at a -210 number. Still LA and Philadelphia, the 2 shortest prices to win a National League pennant. The Dodgers, the favorites at +155. The Phils, that second best number, less than a $0.5 behind at 2-1. But keep an eye on the Arizona Diamondbacks, the reigning National League pennant winners, and the San Diego Padres moving up that board. More with Jack, live right here on this Wednesday on the Early Line next. Live right here on the Early Line on Wednesday. All across MLB, we continue to go, and Jack McMullen joins us for a second consecutive segment and a third after that to forecast a Wednesday slate in MLB. Jack, plenty of compelling races down the home stretch of this MLB regular season, and in one of the divisional races that is tight, we focus on the American League West. The Astros have won 7 straight games. The Mariners got clobbered yesterday in Detroit, 15-1. The Tigers putting on a pounding. So now a game and a half advantage for Houston atop the American League West. They are the odds-on favorites at a minus 280 number to win the division. How do you compare these two teams right now near the top of the division, the Astros and the Mariners?
Hey, before we get into it, let's pour one out for George Kirby, the Mariners right-hander, who just had his ERA torpedoed yesterday. Brutal. I mean, we were geared up for Tarek Skubal, George Kirby round two. Kirby, the line on him was, 3 2/3, 13 hits, 11 earned. ERA jumped from 3.13 to 3.73. So absolutely brutal. Like, it stinks that guy has that on his season because he was throwing so darn well. But Ben, to answer your question, I really struggle to see how the Mariners offense drastically improved at the deadline. And I like the addition of Randy Arozarena. I do. I know that you have the additional year of control of Randy Arozarena after this year. So I liked it at the moment. And I still like it. I like that influx of talent. Justin Turner was a fine get. Like, it just feels like a B- C+ get. Hey, you got, a little bit better, but that isn't a lineup altering get. I doubt this Mariners team's ability to score runs over the course of a given week. And the Astros, I don't have that doubt. Yordan Alvarez should absolutely be in the conversation with an Aaron Judge, with a Shohei Ohtani when it comes to best hitters in all of baseball. Yordan has been a menace, and that Astros lineup is like deep enough to get it done, man. Not to mention Justin Verlander is on rehab. He just looks sharp in Double-A as well. Like, you pair Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown and Justin Verlander at the top. It's not the Mariners, technically. It's not a Gilbert, Castillo, Kirby, Wu, Miller mix that has made the Mariners the best starting rotation in all of baseball. But they paid a lot of money for that bullpen. And, who knows if that bullpen will blow it or not in Houston. They paid a lot of money for that lineup, and that lineup is just objectively better than Seattle. So I'd say it's the Astros, and they're not looking back at this point. But, I mean, they're both playing good ball right now. Who's going to slip up first? And I don't know, I guess 15-1 in the seventh inning would be a slip up. But, again, this is baseball. You got a blank slate every single morning.
It's been pretty wild, Jack, to watch the West because we were right, at least I was writing off the Astros about a month and a half ago saying this team's never going to get it together, and here they are in first place. So my question's not with the Astros or the Mariners fighting for it, but what happened to the Texas Rangers? Jack, this isn't like a team ran away with it as the best team in baseball and you just can't chase them down. This is a very winnable division for a team that won the World Series last year and just never got it together. It looked like they were starting to peak. Now they find themselves 9.5 games back. What happened to the Rangers this year?
You're asking the question that was making me start to go gray, and it's probably genetics, it's probably stress, but I've got some gray hairs in there. And I'm telling you, man, like, I was saying, the Rangers are going to be in it. The Rangers are going to be in it until a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I think we're out of time at this point, which really stinks for the reigning World Series champ. It's nice that they're getting a little healthier in the starting rotation. And I just saw the live batting practice that Jacob deGrom threw. I saw the first pitch was 99 miles an hour. Welcome back, Mr. deGrom. Yeah. But, Tyler Mahle's return is great, yada, yada. They had so many guys in 2023 have career years offensively that are just not close to matching it right now. And, they were dealt the injury bug with a Josh Young, but a Leody Taveras had a career year last year. A Jonah Heim had a career year last year. There were so many guys in that lineup that were performing like the best 7 hitter in baseball, the best 9 hitter in baseball, the best 5 hitter in baseball. And now, you have Seager and Semien, but at the end of the day, like, Adolis Garcia is not even the Adolis Garcia of 2023. So for me, it's really like last year was a perfect storm. And this year, I don't think this is the realistic, baseline for the Texas Rangers, but I think it's an underperformance of the Texas Rangers. I don't think we saw the baseline of the Texas Rangers last year. I think we saw the 100th percentile outcome, and that resulted in a World Series, which is awesome.
Yeah. When you look at Texas, now 10 games below 500, 55 and 65, 9.5 games out of that American League West top spot occupied by their in-state foe in Houston. Jack, you weren't alone thinking at the end of July, maybe Texas was starting to put things together. They had won 5 straight, capped off with a series sweep over the White Sox. Good. It's what you're supposed to do on July 25th. And they were 51-52, just a game below 500. They have lost 13 of 17 since that point. But it's not the reigning World Series champs in the Rangers. It's not a team that's reached the ALCS 7 straight years in the Astros that has the best record in the American League. It's not the Yankees. It's not the Orioles, despite being the 2 frontrunners to win the pennant. It's the Cleveland Guardians, 71-49, the best record in the AL. Jhonkensy Noel, 3 home runs in 2 games against the Cubbies to win it yesterday for the Guardians. Jack, what is Cleveland's ceiling come October baseball?
That's a great question. Stephen Vogt, by the way, you nailed it, manager of the Cleveland Guardians. You nailed that during the break. Props to you, Ben. Their ceiling is fascinating to me because they've had starting pitcher questions all season long. Like, I was calling Tristan McKenzie starts in AAA this year. That shouldn't be happening with a Tristan McKenzie. Don't forget, Shane Bieber looked amazing, like 3 times through the rotation, and then his season ends with surgery, with elbow surgery. So, as for the Guardians, I understand the price point here at plus 650. I totally get it because they are not the heavyweight that the Yankees and the Orioles and the Astros are. But at the end of the day, they've scrapped their way to the best record in the American League. Who's to say that they can't make some magic happen in a 5-game series, in a 7-game series? And it helps to have that guy Big Christmas in the middle of that lineup. I love watching Jhonkensy Noel, man.
Listen, Donnie Rightside, a huge believer and backer in the Guardians. He is fired up for Cleveland come playoff baseball.